I first heard about Sewell Gardner obviously when they opened an office in Chorleywood. I'm a resident of Chorleywood, so I'm familiar with them. And I know the branch manager, Kate, extremely well. For the last 10 or so years she's been helping me with property, so I became aware of Sewell that way.
I had a friend who was using them when she was looking for a house and said that they shone actually in the area and that they were the ones with the best feedback and the best attention to their needs.
Yeah, I heard about Sewell Gardner online, but also through recommendations from other friends that live in Chorleywood. We had 3 agents come in, 2 of whom presented themselves very well, and they clearly knew what they were doing and their background in the property market. The differentiator for Sewell Gardner was the personal service and the integrity that Kate displayed when she turned up. She took her time to look around the house to talk to us about our requirements, and she took her time to talk and understand really what we needed to do and where we needed to go.
I felt that Sewell Gardner were really on the ball as regards not only selling our home, but also finding me a suitable property to move to. I felt more confident in them and the service that they were going to provide.
We chose one agent to come in and value the property, and there was only going to be one agent that we would call. We're familiar with all the agents in Chorleywood, and Sewell Gardner were top of the list. And we chose Sewell Gardner because we've had very good experiences previously, and they have a very good reputation. First impressions of Sewell Gardner are very positive. Everyone here is very engaging, professional. The quality of service is highly professional. The responsiveness very quick, and you feel that you're at the centre of the process, which is really important.
Professional, strong integrity, and energy and drive. So what I found was that the team would do what they said they were going to do, which is important. So actually meeting their commitments. They took the time to listen to us, again, our requirements and what we wanted, and we found them very professional.
Oh, my first impressions were very good. Kate came and she took the time, she let me consider everything that she said, and I was a bit surprised to begin with because it was going to be less than I'd anticipated. But she really recommended that we hit the market at that level to generate the interest, and it did work. It was very good.
Sewell Gardner's approach differs to other estate agents that I've had experience with, primarily because it feels like a very personal service. They are very engaging. They keep you up to date and abreast of developments day by day, which is very important if you're buying or selling property. And the service you get is highly professional and tailored to your particular needs.
I particularly like the fact that they bothered to be in touch all the time, so I was never left in the dark. I never had to make a phone call. They had kept the communication completely, so I had phone calls twice a week, and actually when things did go slightly pear-shaped and the solicitors were running around and the other agents, Kate was the one who bothered to find out what was happening at the top of the line. She prepared me for anything that was going to maybe go wrong, say over the weekend. She said, just to let you know, this may happen. And I just never felt in the dark, and I never felt anxious that things weren't happening or out of my control, because actually she was always there to sort it out.
I think if I had to say what was unique about Sewell Gardner beyond other estate agents that I've worked with over the years, it is the personal approach. It is very much a case of them tailoring their service to your requirements. Listening is a very important part of the process. So I find I don't have to repeat myself when I'm speaking to anyone within Sewell Gardner's offices. They understand what I require, and then they go and deal with that requirement.
I think they're really good and sound communication. The fact that nothing was too much trouble, and they were prepared to go the extra mile.
The most unique thing is the communication. So it's the constantly updating you, keeping you in touch. I mean, Kate would tell me something, quite honestly, and then a day later or 2 days later, the other estate agent would let me know, and it was all done and dusted, really. So it was the punctuality of the phone calls when they came in, the constant updating, and feeling that they were always available and always there.
The thing I found most unique about the Sewell Gardner experience was the end-to-endness of it all. So from the point of engagement to the point of completion, the moving in process and beyond, I felt that Sewell Gardner were present from one way right the way through to the other. All the other estate agents felt very transactional in terms of how they've approached. And historically, whenever I've moved before, it's been that way. It's you pay your money, and once completion is done and they've moved, then estate agents want to know. It was very much an over and above service, so not just moving house, but also supporting us in terms of getting contractors in to help us move the house, to help do the repairs and fittings, but just being there for any other queries. And all of the team were consistent both in their approach, professionalism, and the fact that we asked them a number of silly questions, and they were absolutely fine to field them, no problems at all.
I think estate agents have got a bad name, and estate agents may possibly be thought of being obsolete because you can do everything online and basically it goes on to Rightmove. But I think as a liaison and as an agent, they really did work as an agent, and there was no time wasted, but it was that constant communication that was so important.
Clearly, Sewell Gardner have done a good job in depth for a lot of people in Chorleywood. That showed in the range of housing stock, the fact that people were quite happy to talk to us about their properties and felt that they had a great service too. So there was a trust. We felt we could trust Sewell Gardner to give us service that we were after.
The member of team that stood out for me the most would be Kate Woodward, the branch manager at Chorleywood. I've known her for a long time. Her local knowledge of the property market is second to none in my opinion. She always gives very clear professional advice and guidance and helps you through the entire process and makes it as painless as possible.
Kate is a good manager, a good leader, but they were a really cohesive team. So the other members of the team were really good as well.
Everyone was great. They always picked the phone up. They're always cheerful. Chris was lovely, the little I had to do with him, but it was Kate who really was outstanding.
Each member of the team had their merits, and they're all excellent, different personalities. So certainly Kate, in terms of leading the end-to-end engagement, was fantastic. She was ably supported by Chris and Sam, so Chris was excellent in terms of supporting, setting up viewings, managing our expectations on availability of property, and generally letting us in and out and taking a look at a view of where we live now. Kate was very much the lead in terms of coordinating with the solicitors, with the other buyers. We felt comfortable that she had both our interests at heart, but also the wider chain. And Sam was great for just letting us have access to this place, obviously professionally, in terms of we were allowed to go in there contractually, and helping access and engagement with our various contractors that we had over the 3 or 4 weeks before we moved into the property.
I would recommend Sewell Gardner to other people thinking of purchasing or selling property. They're just a very focused, professional outfit. The advice you get is always very high quality. The local knowledge, which is critical when it comes to buying property, is second to none. I think the people here give you a very clear outline of what you can expect to receive if you're selling, and equally what the process will be if you're buying, and they'll take you through that process.